You've just entered the Storyteller.net Amphitheater.
Amphitheater.
Hey folks, it's Sean Bavala with the Small Tooth Dog Publishing Group, and I'm speaking to Laura Packer, who is the author of the book From Audience to Zeal, the ABCs of Finding, Crafting, and Telling a Great Story at audience2zeal.com. The last thing I want to talk about in this really, again, wide-ranging conversation we've had is, so once people have their interest piqued from reading your work, if your work is one of the first introductions to the serious levels of oral storytelling, where do they go after that? What do people do? What do people do once they're in I need to know more? Where do they go?
The first thing I would do, and this is not me returning the favor, it is genuine. The Small Tooth Dog Publishing Group has some fabulous resources. So I would start there.
Thanks.
And look at the other resources that you have available as books. But what I always say in workshops is that talking about storytelling is rather like showing someone a beautiful meal and telling them they can't eat any of it. They need to actually experience it in order to be able to become better at it. So what I would urge people to do if they're intrigued is to go to storytelling events. You can find lists of events on the National Storytelling Network storytelling site, storynet.org. So storyteller.net has all kinds of fantastic resources. So go to an event. Listen to stories, tell stories, find out what it feels like to have the words falling out of your mouth in front of people. I also would suggest that people consider getting some continuing education. There are great coaches available. There are conferences available. There are storytelling guilds in your region available that may offer classes. So it is absolutely worth your while to look into all of this and to find out what resources are available to you physically and live in your region. There are all kinds of great reading resources you can do as well and good websites, but start with storyteller.net, start with storynet.org, and see what you find. And explore. Don't be afraid to play, and you're not going to fail. At worst, you'll get to learn something new and then try it again.
Right. Yeah, that it's worth investing. It's worth investing in yourself and investing in story. A lot of this book came from your initial work on your own blog. Can you remind people where your blog is located? Because you're still writing in those things.
Oh, I'm still writing, yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
My website is laurapacker.com in case you want to find out a little bit more about me. My blog is longer than that. It is True Stories, Honest Lies, all one word, .blogspot.com. Mm-hmm. This will eventually be migrating over to laurapacker.com, but I'm so enamored with the name that I haven't done so yet. I've been maintaining that blog for over a decade, and it has a lot of writing about storytelling as well as an array of personal writings too. So I'd encourage anyone listening to go check it out and see if they find something that intrigues them. If you want me to write about something in particular, let me know, because I'm always happy to take suggestions.
Well, I think on that note, after this long conversation that we've had, I think even just this conversation alone has been an additional benefit of this book. The degree and the amount of stuff we've talked to, because I've already done, I went back through the first session that we did together and did some of those initial edits, and I thought to myself, well, there's a lot of content here. You certainly have displayed your mastery of this subject from where you are right now in your world and the variety of experience that you have. That it's funny because, we didn't spend a lot of time talking about what many people think storytelling is, which is the librarians. Library. Mm-hmm. And I just came from a library conference, and let me tell you something. Those librarians in the libraries telling stories are working their tails off.
Oh, yes, they are.
For excellence. And they do a great job. But that's not the singular expression of storytelling. I really had my, I don't want to say eyes open, but my respect for the level of people who are in the frontline public library has gone up considerably, even more than I had it before. I've worked in a lot of libraries, but man, storytelling does belong in the library, but it also belongs in the boardroom. It also belongs in healthcare.
It belongs everywhere. It is how we understand ourselves. It's how we build our community. It's how we build the world.
And I think on those beautiful notes, I'm going to let that be the last word. Folks, you have been listening to Sean Bavala and Laura Packer talking about her book, From Audience to Zeal, the ABCs of Finding, Crafting, and Telling a Great Story, published by the Small Tooth Dog Publishing Group. You can find the book at audience2zeal.com. I've certainly enjoyed being with you today, and thank you for listening to this discussion. If there's anything we can do for you, well, just pop on over to smalltoothdog.com and we'll be happy to talk you through it. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to the Storyteller.net Amphitheater. All rights reserved. No part or whole may be reproduced in any manner for any reason without the express written permission of Storyteller.net.